Greetings, heathens and heretics, and welcome to an all new thing on In the Abyss with my good friend Dave from Black City Records.
Hello, how you
Good
doing,
evening,
mate?
sir. I am fantastic. Yourself?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good, good. Now, what we're going to do this week is have a bit of a moan and a grumble. So, this is obviously why I've come to you first. If anybody was familiar with the sort of 90s TV show Room 101, that is basically the concept we're going to follow. If you're not, so what happens is a guest comes on and they come up with a list of things that they dislike, they hate, they want to have a moan about all of that, and chuck it into room 101 to disappear forever, basically. And I get to decide whether it goes into room 101 or not. So obviously we're going to put a metal spin on that. So I turn to you, my grumpy friend.
Well, the grumpiest man in metal.
I think between us, we probably do quite well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going to have to put up a little bit of resistance or try to.
Okay.
So I've got no idea what you're coming with. So we may as well crack on. What you got at number one?
Number one. Wow. I mean, this is the thing. So you're always going to upset somebody whenever you come up with things that you want to kind of get rid of. But
We try our best.
um, hardcore.
What, hardcore in general or
No,
the
I
music, the
love
culture?
hardcore. I love hardcore. Absolutely love it. I've got Black Flag, Minor Threat, tattoos.
Yeah, we've
But
had several
just
conversation about classic hardcore, haven't
yeah,
we? Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. Agnostic front, love all that kind of stuff. I think it's the way that it's not so much got into the music because crossovers kind of always been a thing really.
Yeah, yeah.
But just certainly the way that it's got into the gig environment really, in particular pits.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Somebody once said to me that you should make a hat that says "Make stage diving great again," because I was I was at Cryptopsy and 200 Stab Wounds the other night, and man, the stage diving's just terrible. People get on stage and literally just kind of just plump back off again. Just
Yeah,
yeah, just kind of get up and then jump back down again. And the reason why is because there's no one there to catch them.
yeah,
Because
that's a fair point.
everyone's in the middle doing all of this karate bullshit, and it's
Yeah,
it's just
yeah. I'm with you on that, and it's we've had moans about on it before on here before. Myself and been dedicated 20 minutes to it, and it is fucking irritating because a you know I think what annoys me is you moan about it, you complain about it. I just want to go and watch a band and not get kicked in the face, right? And then what you get back
mm,
is, well, don't stand on the edge of the pit. Well, why should I go and stand at the back just for you to throw your legs around like a cunt and me
yeah,
risk
yeah.
getting my face smashed in?
Yeah, and it's so this was at the Fleece, and although it was sold out, you go in. If anyone that doesn't know the Fleece at Bristol, you enter from the back, and it's just absolutely fucking rammed. It's like stacked in there,
Mm.
and so I'm thinking, man, this is really, really oversold, and because of my diminutive height, I couldn't quite see forwards. But then you kind of suss it out, and it's like, wow, that's because the whole fucking audience is squeezed up into a third of the venue, because two-thirds of the venue is occupied by five fucking like roid heads at the front.
Hey,
It's
this is
insane.
a death metal show as well, though.
Yeah, but there was a bit of crossover certainly with one or two support bands,
Yeah,
but it's just like, and it's so we always talk about like metal now, especially nowadays being inclusive. It's not inclusive to a 14-year-old girl,
fair
or
point.
somebody who's like 4'10", gonna get their fucking faces caved in,
Like you mean?
like me. I fucking hold my own against people, don't you worry. But yeah, it's not great.
And
It's
then
not.
there's this crowd killing thing as well, which sort of is like leached its way over from the US, and that's another step on top of it for me. Like it's even worse because that is people parading up and down that pit and around the edges of that pit, intent
growling. Yeah,
on hurting people. Essentially, I
yeah,
don't care what anybody says. That is what they're out to do,
mm,
and I've experienced it since. And at some point, it's going to get me into a lot of trouble. It's making me not want to go to hardcore shows anymore,
yeah, yeah.
and that's annoying because I love my hardcore and I've done for many many years. And I think back in the day, sort of 25 years ago, when I first started going to hardcore shows, all this stuff still happened, but there was a bit more of a camaraderie about it. There was less attitude, less one-upmanship about the whole thing.
I
So you
think there's
didn't
a
really
bit
feel
more
like you were at
discipline,
risk. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and just an understanding of, that's the area where that happens. And, if you're outside of that, then you leave it be.
yeah.
But
I
it's
think,
just,
yeah, if they can confine it into a small space, go and throw yourself around, and you're just going to hurt each other.
mm,
But it's the peripheral people, and you don't want it, whatever gig you're at, you don't ever want to be at risk of being injured, do you?
no,
Yes, it's always possible in a pit, but there's that unwritten rule that people don't get hurt, and if someone goes down, you pick them up, all of that. But in hardcore, that doesn't seem to be a thing.
no, no. It's a very male dominated space. And um, yeah, like I say, I just don't think it's particularly healthy for the scene. And, until something drastic happens, and it will happen at some point.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, look, I mean, I completely agree with you. That's going straight in because it's one of my absolute fucking bugbears. There's several hardcore shows that I see and I love the lineup. There's a great one in London, a proper revivalist gig, Knuckle Dust and Stamping Ground, and some other sort of
nice.
UK hardcore bands that used to go to see back in the day, all in the underworld. It is going to be fucking carnage in there, though. I can see it now.
Yeah.
It'll be horrendous.
Yeah, yeah. You want to be up on the raised bit at the back.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you don't want to be up there
No,
because it's just not as good. You want the underworld is one of my favorite venues. The place is great.
I think it's my favorite venue in the UK, actually.
Yeah, have you ever seen a bad show there?
No.
No, it's always fucking great. But if you're down on that floor on that show, you're going to get your head kicked in.
Yeah, and like I say, I don't know where this has come from because I remember seeing like fucking H2O there. I saw Madball there years ago. I think I probably might have seen it was fuck me, I can't remember what it was. Might have been like Knuckle Dust or TRC or something like that. But you never had that back then.
No.
It's only been like the last kind of 10 years or so.
Yeah, it's definitely a recent thing. And that energy you always used to get with hardcore shows. And I think Madball are the perfect example, one of the best live bands out there. Freddie's just a machine on stage. And when hardcore gigs go nuts and everyone's trying to get on the stage and
Yeah.
everyone's trying to get onto the mic and all that, that's great. I love all that.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool because everyone's part of it. The Hope Conspiracy or another one back in the day were
Oh man.
unreal
Did you
live.
see them at the Underworld?
Last year. I'm talking
No,
about
God.
the last one I went to the Underworld would have been 2003. It was around about that sort of time, I think. I've still got
Okay.
the ticket.
I saw them probably in about 2008.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't that. It was definitely early. It was off the back of End Note. It was then.
Oh, okay. They all had beards when I saw them.
Yeah, there were no beards. It was still fringes
Yeah.
and skin tight t-shirts.
Not lumberjack shirts and beards. No.
No,
Well,
skin tight black t-shirts and fucking big old floppy fringes. But incredible live band, so intense. Just leave everything on the stage.
they're
The
absolutely
energy in the
brilliant.
room is right.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah,
So yeah, 100% modern hardcore pits straight into room 101.
love it.
So that's a good start, strong
You,
start.
you need the like the lever that
I
you.
was thinking that's the only thing I don't have. So maybe, if this takes off, I'll get myself a lever.
Yeah,
But
that'd be great.
there you go. Bit of that, bit of that. Right, go on then. Where are you going from there?
Right, Kerrang. Fucking awful. It's fucking awful. So I suppose there's some backstory to this. I mean, I think the metal world, as we know it, was shaped so much on the
Yeah,
back of Kerrang magazine, and every Wednesday it was the Bible that you looked
yep.
forward to. It would tell you who's playing. You'd see the reviews of the gigs that you've been to. You get all the gossip. You get your posters. You'd find out about new bands, reviews, and it was such an important magazine. And just to see what it's become is absolutely shameful, really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. 80s and 90s.
Mm,
For you, obviously, probably more the 80s. For me, it was the 90s. Yeah, just really starting to get heavily into the scene. Kerrang told you everything.
everything. Yeah.
People need to realize this is long before the fucking internet and all that. You open Kerrang. I used to go to the back pages at the gig listings. One of the first things. Fuck
Yeah.
me. Machine Head, Entombed, and Misery Loves Company, and all these tours that you wouldn't see. Living in Cornwall, I can't go, but I still, used to get excited about that. And Kerrang! Now, I haven't picked up a copy of Kerrang! In many, many years, so I can only kind of go by what their social media is like and all that kind of stuff. So, what is it in particular about Kerrang! That's pissing you off that much?
I think just because of the legacy of the name, and as well as I do, there's such a great metal scene in the
Mm.
UK,
Yeah,
and it's just completely ignored, and it's all focusing on fucking mumble rap and all of this kind of shit that has just got some kind of vaguely gothic aesthetic to it. So we take it as being alternative, and it's not.
no, it's not. If anything, it's quite the opposite. I mean, I think that the modern form of metalcore, whatever it is now, is probably the only point where Kerrang really covers the heavier bands, but it's not.
Mm.
You're not going to see. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but you're not going to see Motley Crue on the cover of Kerrang these days.
No,
You
but
know,
whereas back in when it was a force to be reckoned with, looking at how it was then, why aren't they reporting on bands like Night Demon and
mm,
Flame Bearer and all of these Urza and bands like that that are,
yeah,
trying to fucking do something. Well, they're not trying to do something; they are doing stuff. They're making great music. But there's no major outlet for them to be heard or spoken about.
do you think it's a bit there's almost a separation from the grassroots, from what it used to be? Because you used to be able to read Kerrang and there'd be bands you've never heard of.
Mm,
And I know with the internet and social media and all that, like, it is easier to find new music. But you would think a magazine like Kerrang would still want to be at the forefront of that.
yeah,
Not blowing our trumpet or any other podcast or anything like that. It seems like these days we are the people that are discovering this music before those mainstream magazines are.
yeah.
Metal Hammer's the same.
Metal Hammer has yeah, that's gone downhill as well. To be fair, I'm not sure how many times I can walk past WH Smiths and see Ghost, Baby Metal, the same fucking things on the cover
It's
all
what
the time.
it's what sells magazines, I suppose, isn't it?
Mm. Or does it? And is this why Metal Hammer a few years ago was at the point of going under?
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah, it's true. I think from the Metal Hammer point of view, while they still cover a lot more sort of heavier bands, if you've got metal in your title, you kind of can't get away from that. For me, Metal Hammer, it's more the opinion that's the problem with them.
Yeah.
And they just you know before it comes out what a Metal Hammer review of certain bands is going to be like.
Yeah, and
You know?
I've done a little bit of sort of sideline journalism in the past. I know how that works.
Yeah, yeah,
I know how a good review comes along because of the paid advertising space and things like
yeah,
that.
yeah. We all know that, but I don't know. It just feels it's unauthentic, isn't it? You read a
Mm.
review, if it's not very good, you want to know it's not very good.
Yeah,
You know, we're
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
not we're not afraid to do it. We receive promos in advance, and we're not going to sit here and just slag a record off just for the sake of it. But if we feel like we've got constructive criticism towards something, like the Machine Head album last year, it was a hard listen. We know what Machine Head are capable of,
Mm.
but what they've become now, they're not the same band. And I think it they're getting 10 out of 10 reviews all over the place, and I just don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, we're supposed to have opinions. If we all had the same fucking opinion, the world would be very dull.
Yeah, and do you know what? I mean, even like bad reviews like pique your interest and make you think, "Ah, actually, I really need to hear that."
Yeah, and sometimes you're surprised.
Yeah, I
You know,
remember. I remember if Kerrang back in the day did a review of, fuck me, what was it called? It's one of Seth Putnam from Anal Cunt's side projects, Upside Down Cross or something.
sort
And
of like acoustic ballads, like
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And I think they gave it no K's at all. And it was just saying it is, probably the worst thing that's ever been, put out in any form of format. And that's just, I've got to hear that. I've got to hear what this is about.
exactly. Like, is there such a thing as bad publicity?
No,
You
probably
know,
not.
especially in this music, if you can really run with it. If a journalist slags off your music, or if a podcast slags off your music, whatever it is, you can run with that
Mm,
and have some real fun with it. You know, so yeah, I just want an honest opinion. I think
yeah,
is more the thing.
yeah,
But that's not. I get what you're saying with Kerrang. Kerrang's basically just gone soft.
yeah. It's. I don't think it's even. Is it a rock magazine? It's not
I,
even a rock magazine, is
Not
it?
really. No, you're just as likely to see Poppy as you are Metallica in
Yeah,
Kerrang.
yeah,
You know, which is fine. But the word Kerrang is supposed to mimic the sound of a guitar, isn't it?
yeah,
That's what it was, and
yeah,
so it's almost like it's misselling itself.
yeah.
You
And it
know,
was
so
it was so important for the breakthrough of so many bands back in the
massive,
who are now
massive.
fucking global, and yeah,
And you think about the tail end of the 90s, just to pick a couple of examples, the clout that Kerrang had in this scene, when they used to do the K-Fest shows in London in through December, the two that spring to mind, right, they're Black Sabbath in the Astoria and Slipknot in the Astoria.
mm,
Like big clout, but it doesn't
yeah,
feel like they are that entity anymore.
no, no, not at all, not at
Just
all.
fucking let us. But I can't not put that in, can I? You're gonna have to come up with something that I'm going to disagree with. So
Don't
hopefully,
know. I think the next. Well, actually, I might have one on there, but
all right. Well, that can go in then. There you go. There's the handle. It's gone
yeah.
straight in.
Okay,
Go on then.
right.
Go on then. Go on then. Try again.
cover cover bands.
Where's my anchor? There it is. Right. Okay. Before you start, cover
Yeah,
bands or tribute bands, because I think like
tribute bands.
yeah. All
Tribute
right.
bands.
Okay. Yeah.
Tribute bands. Um, I, I mean, to a degree, I get it. I'm never going to get to see Led Zeppelin in their heyday, and maybe watching four blokes pretend that they are Led Zeppelin is as close as that's ever going to get. But at the same time, you know, I don't want to see just. We have a thing in one or two venues in Bristol where it's just a constant bilge of just tribute bands that come out on their listings month after month after month after month, and it's just harrowing, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's and these bands are commanding a big fee to go and
Yes, they
see
are.
them.
Yeah. I know that firsthand, actually. I've done some digging myself, and some of the fees are insane.
Mm.
You know, and I
You know,
don't get it.
I think we had Guns to Roses down at the O2, and the O2. That's a venue that Cannibal Corpse have
I saw
played.
Megadeth there,
Yeah,
you know?
and um, you get Guns to Roses, and they're selling it out.
Yeah.
They're selling it out, but I think it was, and this is it's quite strange that they're headlining um, Bloodstock, but the last time Slaughter to Prevail came out, which was only 18 months ago or something,
Mm.
it was half empty. You know,
Yeah, it's amazing that
they were
changes.
selling £5 tickets, and whether you like sort of to prevail or not is besides the point. But this is a legit band
They're a popular
working,
band, you know.
yeah, working hard, touring their asses off, trying to do what they do, um, and they're being outsold by Guns Two Roses.
Although the Guns N' Roses thing, I mean, I've never seen Guns to Roses, so I can't compare. But going by what Axl Rose sounds like now, I wouldn't be surprised if they're the better option anyway.
Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me actually. I did say to my other half because we saw Guns N' Roses at Hellfest a few years ago, and I never got to see them back in the day, and she's never seen them. She loves them, and we stood there and we listened to two songs, and I leaned over and I said, "This goes on for another hour and a half." The Exploited are playing in 10 minutes. Should we go and see them? And we did. So
Yeah, that kind of says it all. I mean, look, I was lucky when they first reunited and they did the London Stadium shows, 2016 and 2017, whenever it was. They were phenomenal. I got to be honest, they were fucking unreal. Axel sounded great. Setlist was great. 2.5 hours of just fucking wall to wall classics. They were brilliant. I would never want to see them again.
I'm not sure where it's gone wrong though, because I mean the whole filling in for um,
For Brian, yeah, for AC/DC,
Brian,
yeah.
that wasn't that long ago, was it?
No, just before COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I hear reports that he was fucking great on that.
Yeah, yeah. I know a
Um,
few people who went and said, yeah, said the same thing.
so yeah, I just don't know why his voice has just completely gone to shit.
Yeah, and it's properly gone to shit as well.
Yeah,
You know, so maybe there is that, and obviously you've also got the the price of ticketing as well. You know, you want
mm,
to go and see Guns N' Roses, it's going to cost you 150 quid. So
hmm
25, 30 quid to see a tribute band, that's probably got a lot to do with it as well.
yeah, it's probably a bit better, isn't it? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just I've spoken to you about this many times before,
Yes, yeah,
but
yeah,
when you actually get festivals of tribute bands, like whole weekenders,
yeah. Camp, yeah, fucking camp in the works.
yeah,
You know,
it's insane.
yeah.
It's insane. And
It's a full-time job for a lot of these bands, I think.
yeah, and I don't think it would wind me up so much as unless I could stop going to local gigs, 100 capacity gigs with nobody fucking there. But
Yeah.
knowing that down the road is some tribute band that's sold out, it's crazy.
Well, this brings us back to the supporting the grassroots music, the argument, the conversations that we've had several times. We talk about on this podcast all the fucking time. And a bit of a plug, live podcast in Chelmsford, February 19th. We're going to be celebrating grassroots music for this exact reason, because without it, we've got nothing. And tribute bands, one way or another, and I know that's obviously not the intention if you're in a tribute band, but it's gonna contribute to killing off the grassroots scene.
Mm.
And that's a worry, because
Yeah,
venues will go, bands will stop bothering. It's just, do you know what I mean? It's a little bit depressed. There's so much good stuff going on, but for every great event, there's a venue closing, or there's a
yeah.
band splitting up, or whatever it may be. Who's the band that pops up on social media this week? They've just been out with Volbeat, British band. I can't remember their name, but the video of them being interviewed is all over social media, and they've just been out on an arenas and stadiums across the UK and Europe with Volbeat, and they're in the red.
Yeah,
How the fuck has
yeah,
that
and
happened?
yeah. I mean, I've spoken to many bands through doing what I do, but unnamed band. But yeah, I used to have somebody from a band who was signed to Nuclear Blast live with me, and yeah, just made no money,
Mm.
like nothing.
So what's
Would
the point?
go on major European tours, come back and have earned absolutely nothing.
There's
You
only
know,
so far you can go with the whole school trip aspect. Do you know what I mean? At some
yeah,
point, you have to at least make a little bit of money to make it worth your while.
yeah.
You know?
And the thing is, you can look at it as in, okay, well, you've had 3 weeks having a great time.
Mm.
Free food, free beer, um, whatever, bed for the night. But at the end of the day, you have to come back home, and you can't hold down a steady job if you're
No,
asking for 3 weeks off every couple of months.
no, no, it isn't sustainable. And like 30 years ago, it was because you could be at that level, you could be playing to 1,000 people every night and do that full time. You could earn
Yep.
enough money from that because record sales and everything else that goes with
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? It was doable, whereas now it's not. I mean, fuck me. Even the guys in Green Lung have still got jobs.
Yeah.
And you look at the level they're getting to,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be working. They should just be spending 11 and a half months of the year touring,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know?
It's nuts, and that goes back to, yeah. I mean, that's a bigger problem with merch and
Yeah,
record
yeah.
sales, CD sales, whatever. We worked out here, one of our biggest sellers for the last year or two was Absolute Elsewhere,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think we worked out using industry standard royalty structures that we paid Blood Incantation a quarter of what their worldwide streams for that album were.
Fucking hell.
So this one shop.
Fucking hell, yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. But right, this is the sort of caveat to it. Is it the tribute band's fault,
No.
or are we putting forward the bigger problem that venues are turning to tribute bands because they know they'll pack the place out if you've got a Metallica tribute band in?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose they've always been there to a degree, haven't
Yeah.
they? I remember seeing tribute bands. Well, yeah, like I said, AC/DC tribute bands years and years and years ago. Um, they've always been there. I think it is just a cultural thing that
Mm.
they know it will sell out, and to be fair, they market them. A lot of these tribute bands market themselves so well.
Yeah, well, they can because they've got the financial backing to do it. If they're earning really
Mm,
good money, a tribute band can go to a venue that holds, say, 400 or 500 people and command a fee that pays every member of the band, as well as
mm,
funding their travel, their accommodation, all that kind of thing. Whereas a normal signed or unsigned independent band does the same thing, plays the same venue, doesn't get paid anywhere near that same amount of money, and
mm.
it's basically just petrol money or a
Yeah, yeah.
hotel or an Airbnb. That's the difference. That's why I think they can market themselves. So it's a bit of a vicious circle.
Mm.
And I don't know how we're going to get out of it. Like tribute bands, I think have got their place in the right environment. They can be fun.
Well, it's like the blood, fire, death thing that's happening.
Yeah.
And what's the one that Abath does, the Motorhead one?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he's essentially a Norwegian black metal Lemmy anyway, isn't he? So it
Yeah.
works. But
Um, so there are sort of circumstances like that where it kind of works, I suppose. But
festivals, I think it can within. Okay, so Alcatraz last year in Belgium. It was a wicked weekend. But the first day when it does the same as Bloodstock, it's just like half a festival kind of thing, a few bands and whatnot. There was a Motorhead tribute band. It was terrible. And then there was the Belgian Quo band, a Belgian tribute to Status Quo, with a couple of current members of Status Quo getting involved in the set as well. And yes, we'd had a few beers by this point. It was quite late at night, but it was fucking great fun.
mm,
And they played those songs so well, and they chose the set list really well, and everyone was into it. Right. So I think in that environment, it works. It's the small venues and the grassroots, but where it's taken over, that's where the problem is.
yeah, yeah,
You know.
agreed.
So I think my view is tribute bands have got their place and they're fine, but venues need to try and find a balance of still supporting grassroots as much as they can without financial risk where possible,
Mm,
and then mix the tribute bands into it as well. And I think that's what we want because then everybody wins.
yeah, I agree.
You know, so weirdly, and this is mad, I'm not going to put tribute bands in Room 101.
I will remind you about this.
Yeah, well, look,
The
I'm
next
with
the
you on
next
it.
time I get a message from you, like some random hour,
Look
I
at this
will
fucking
remind you.
festival. I'm with you on it, but I would like tribute bands to still have their place. I think that's the thing, and I don't think they are the problem. It's more, it's everything else. It's fucking right. It's Ticketmaster, it's Live Nation, it's all the big events and 200 quid to go and see Linkin Park and all of that. That's what's causing the problem,
Yeah, I
right?
agree.
And there seems to be a little bit of a turn. Live Nation are starting to work a bit closer with Music Venues Trust, so maybe there is, a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel that will help, and then everybody can have a slice of the pie. So on that, it stays out for the minute.
Okay, we'll revisit that.
Yeah, I know you're going to hold me to account on it, but got to try. Before we go on, let's talk a little bit about Bristol,
Yeah.
about what's going on down there. While we're talking about grassroots venues and whatnot, there's a couple of things going on that I've noticed. There's a couple of festivals. There's a new one later in the year, which Rotting Christ the headline, and your shop logo's on the poster. So
Yeah, so it's Bristol Extreme Fest. It used to go by the name of Bristol Death Fest years ago. Run by Jason and Vic, same people, and it's really, really nice to see them bring it back. They've been talking about it for a little while behind the scenes, and it's finally here. And yeah, they've managed to snag Rotting Christ
yeah,
as main headliner for one of the stages. It's the first time playing in Bristol in 22 years. And it's going to be held in an old church. So it's a converted church called the Trinity Centre. There's going to be an indoor stage, an outdoor stage. Outdoors going to be quite kind of death metal slam type kind of thing
yeah,
going on. And that's going to be sort of, from what I understand, don't quote me, but that's kind of half curated by the guys that run a festival down here called Southwest Heavy
oh yeah,
Fest.
yeah, great little festival.
Um, and then the indoor stage is going to be very black doom kind of vibe going on in there. So it'll be nice, man. It'll be nice, and yeah, we're main stage sponsors. So
There you go.
yeah, I was quite touched to be asked. So and for that day, we've only ever closed the shop once.
Ooh,
And that was because we all went to go see Slayer last year,
that's
and no
understandable.
one wanted to work. So we're going to close the whole shop for that day, and we're going to try and bring the whole thing down there and operate from there. So it's going to be a good one, hopefully. I'm really excited about it. And yours truly will be doing some DJing afterwards, and yeah, it'll be good.
That's wicked, and more needs to happen outside of London as well, isn't it? Because there's a risk. You book a band the level of Rotten Christ, it's going to come with a cost. You need people to turn up, and we've talked before about, there is a little bit of a, I don't know, when we come down to Bristol, there's something weird, a little bit weird about the scene that you see so many metalheads around. Like every fucking corner, there's a metalhead in Bristol. But yeah, sometimes there seems to be a bit of a lack of attendance for small shows and that. I don't know if it's just
Yeah,
me, but
yeah. I mean, we're a big student city, so
yeah.
we get a lot of transient people coming through.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I think by the time people kind of embed themselves into a scene, or even find out about certain things, they've gone.
Yeah.
But we see it here. We generally get one or two people that come through each year, and they stick around and they become part of the furniture. Um, but yeah, getting people out to smaller shows is always tricky. I'm not sure if that's just a Bristol thing
No, it's not.
or a
It's definitely
national
not just
thing.
a Bristol thing. Definitely not. It's,
But yeah, I mean, but we do have, like, for a city of its size, because it is quite small here. Yeah, we've got a hell of a scene.
yeah, yeah, and obviously that centers around yourself and the Griffin and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah,
Yours,
and that's a good thing, being sort of slap bang in the middle of it. And even like where the shop is based now, I put up a thing a while ago. All our roadworks have gone, so
yeah,
we're kind of slap bang right in between three venues here, all within sort of 100 yards of each other. It's crazy.
yeah, and as metalheads, we don't have to walk too far, do we? Yeah,
No,
keep
but it
everything
makes you
nice and
lazy.
close.
See, it does make you lazy, because when people say to me, "Are you going to an XYZ gig?" I've got to the point now of thinking, is that in my postcode or
Is it up
not?
a hill?
So, yeah,
At my age, no, I don't know. I don't think so.
yeah, exactly. So
No, You've also got there's another one coming up as well, Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom, yeah, Witchstalker Promotions. That's being held at a really, really interesting place. Dead Witches, a headline in it for
Mm.
all you kind of heavy psych stoner Doom folk out there, and it is basically a Doom festival. Sergeant Thunderhoof as well, I
Mighty
believe.
Tooth are playing. Is that our name?
And it's at a place called the Loco, which is underneath our main train station, Bristol Temple Meads. So the venue is in all of the old storage attics, I
That's
suppose,
cool.
basements.
It's very Doom.
Yeah, it is. It's a great, great venue. I can't remember who it was. Fen, I think, played there
Cool band.
with Harakiri for the Sky
Oh, I fucking love Harakiri for the Sky.
a while ago. It's a great venue. It's really, really good. Perfect for Doom. So yeah, if you can come down for that, anyone, then please do. I think it's going to be a great one.
Right at the end of May, I think it is, isn't it? Weekend
Yeah,
23rd, 24th, I think.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a really cool lineup. So
yeah.
no excuses if you're in Bristol.
No, and like I say, you get off
Oh,
the train. It's literally a 1 minute walk.
like you can't ask for any more, can you?
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah. What about the shop then? So what's going on at Black City at the minute?
We're just rolling, man. We're just rolling along. We're doing good. We're still here. Five,
Opening 7 days a week now as well.
7 days a week. Yeah. So we've
You
cut
know.
our daily hours down a little bit, and decided to open on a Monday. I always wanted to open on a Monday. So yeah, and it feels good. Feels good. And
What to do a
yeah,
full week's work? You can.
I never intend on doing that, mate. But, um, yeah, it's great. You know, things are moving along. We're doing better than we ever have, which is really really good, especially in these testing times. And
Yeah,
a
yeah.
huge fucking huge thank you to literally every single person that supports us. Um, and yeah, we're just we've got a few little things lined up for this year, hopefully. But yeah, just concentrating on just being a record shop, really.
Yeah, it's all about supporting your local record shop, isn't it?
Yeah,
One
yeah,
way or another. You know, physical media is at an absolute peak at the minute, whether it's tapes, vinyl, CDs, all of that. But you like yourselves and the likes of Crypt of the Wizard in London, you know, needs to support you guys, keep you going.
yeah. And you know, it's encouraging to read sort of industry press as well that um, physical media continues to increase
Yeah.
year on year, while everything sort of slides. Everything else kind of is in recession to a degree. Um, but um, but yeah, it's nice, and it's nice to also read that young people are turning towards physical
Mm.
music as well as a means of escape, which is fantastic because that's what music is. You know, and ultimately it's a means of escape before you become so involved in it, it just becomes your whole life, like us two sad old bastards. So, but yeah, it's great. It's good. So, yeah, happy days. We're going into our 5th year, celebrating our 5th anniversary, believe it or not.
Fucking hell.
So that's gone really, really quickly. So, yeah, all good.
No, you're not far off retirement either now, are you? So, you know.
Me, gonna go on to the grave, mate.
Yeah, of course you will. Of course you will.
Yeah,
Beyond the grave, if
beyond the
anything.
grave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking right. Right. Let's get back to moaning and grumbling.
yeah.
What's next?
Vikings.
The fuck?
I
Right,
don't like,
you're gonna have to elaborate on that a little bit.
just when did Vikings become a thing? I'm blaming them on a mouth squarely. But when did they become a thing? When did it stop being about like trying, motorbikes and skateboards and stuff like that? When did it become Vikings? Why does everyone want to be a Viking all of a sudden?
Well,
The Vikings were fucking horrible people for a start.
that's very true. That is very true. I guess people see it as a cultural crossover because it's all, you know,
Is it though?
mead and beer and I don't know. I'm clutching at straws a little bit now. I've honestly, I've never thought about it. I've never thought about Because a lot of Viking themed metal just passes me by. A lot of it's just absolute toss.
It's I just don't understand it. The braided beards and the, you know, there's one guy in Bristol who I won't name, but did a genealogy test to try and find if he had any Scandinavian blood, and he didn't. But he was convinced he was a Viking, and it's like
Hey,
they
look,
would.
I've got Rasmussen in my history, so
Oh, have you now?
yeah, and that's a strong name when it comes to heavy metal. So but that's obviously the only reason I'm growing a beard is because got Danish heritage. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but I get it because if you think about it logically, it's nonsense.
yeah. And just the whole iconography that especially heavy metal gives towards Vikings.
Mm.
If you do any kind of research on Vikings, this 6'7" berserker kind of guy, this image of this absolutely ripped guy in loincloths. They're all about 4'6" or something.
It's a load of nonsense, isn't it?
They're absolute ankle biters. They were just some of
Should work for you then.
the some of the worst people imaginable. Just like horrible ethics, just awful barbarians.
Well, I
And
suppose yeah, because a metalhead is fucking ropey old jeans and a shitty pair of trainers and a 30-year-old leather jacket and all that, and it's got nothing to do with fucking Vikings,
no,
you know.
no. But all of a sudden, everyone's wearing fucking, got drinking horns,
I was just
and
about to say the fucking drinking horns. It's the
and
worst idea ever.
it's it's awful. It's awful. I love seeing people with them because I just like to watch them and wonder where the fuck they're going to put them down.
Exactly. You can't fucking put it on a table. It's just, so I've got my holder with my Viking drinking horn, so everything's fine.
Oh,
It's like carrying around furniture.
stop! Have you ever smelt inside those things as well?
Uh,
They're absolutely disgusting. But yeah, Vikings. They're just I don't like it, mate. I don't like.
are there any Viking themed bands that you do like? Because there are some half decent ones out there.
I mean, I like the whole, even though they're not a metal band, but the whole war. I like the whole Wardruna thing, and
Yeah.
all the sort of stuff that Garl was getting involved with. And it was just, yeah, I don't know. I think the whole, let's sail the seas and rape and pillage stuff is it's just a
Yeah, it's
bit
it's
silly.
not it doesn't really fit with the ethos of what we all
No,
follow, does it?
no,
It's but the Wardruna thing is a funny one because I think you can throw High Lung into that as well, and then bands like Hex Vessel and things like that that are essentially folk bands,
yeah,
right? And they've only kind of it feels like they get lumped into the metal culture because of Viking metal.
mm,
Actual Viking metal bands like in Ensiferum and Monomath and bands like that,
yeah,
where it's a lot more Route One. Like the stuff that High Lung do, like the performance and everything, is really fucking cool. And the same with Wardruna. But you're right, they're not metal bands.
no.
But it's the link that has brought them into the culture, I suppose.
Yeah, and I suppose over the years we've become much more sort of open-minded with stuff that we do take in, be it dungeon synth or uh,
Yeah.
synthwave or whatever. But and like I say, those sort of more traditional folk bands, I don't have a problem with. But it's the imagery of just aping a Viking. I just can't get on with it.
It's a
Can't get
shame
on.
because you'd look great in a leather kilt.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it might hang down around your ankles, but
My little legs, yeah.
yeah, yeah. What terrifying thought. Vikings. Do I agree? I think I do because you're right. You make a good pitch. It makes sense because it has fuck all to do with heavy metal.
Mm,
And you're right. They were a shower of cunts,
yeah,
which we
awful.
aren't. So,
No,
well, some of us. But yeah, all right, okay, that goes in. There you go. Pull my imaginary lever.
thank you very much.
That one goes in. All right, so that's 3 out of 4 so far. You're doing all right.
Oh, that's not bad, is
You're
it?
doing well. You're doing well. So you got one left.
I don't,
Who are you going to upset this time?
I don't know how to. I don't know. I don't actually know what number five is. I've written a load of words down, but I can't make it make sense.
Is it on the
But
Sugar album or?
yeah, Steve Mustaine's lyrics off the new
Oh
album.
God, we won't get into that. Every episode we do at the minute seems to get back to Dave Mustaine at some point.
Have you heard the cover of Ride the Lightning?
Yes, I have. I listened to it this morning.
It's not good, is it?
It's fucking atrocious. The whole album. I know you obviously you've got copies and everything like that, and people are going to buy it. It's fucking Megadeth. This is the band that did Peace Sells, Rust in Peace. No fault in that, but it's fucking awful.
Let there
Like,
be, let there be shred.
like, come on, man. It's the lyrics. It's like an angry 14-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
His voice sounds awful. The production's horrible. The cover of Ride the Lightning is embarrassing. It really is because he bigged it up as well, didn't he? We're going to play it harder and faster and all that, and it's just limp.
It's not. I was saying to somebody today, we were listening to it. I think I listened. I think I did it about 4 times today, just to try and get it inside me and work with it a little bit, but it
Fair
just
play to you.
didn't happen. But with a song like Ride the Lightning, these songs are so embedded in your DNA
Yeah,
that when you hear a different version of it, it's almost, but didn't he just write like the twiddly bit at the beginning? And that was
I
it.
think so, something like that. And he's got a writing credit for that
Yeah,
song. It's a load of bollocks, But
yeah.
if you are going to do that, if you're going to make that statement, go out there and play it absolutely fucking balls out, savage, like classic Megadeth. But he
Mm,
hasn't got that in him anymore, and there's no chemistry in whatever band it is he's got left.
no.
And that just it screams that from the album. It's
Mm,
fucking appalling.
yeah,
It really is. And it's appalling in a way that it's just dull and uninspiring and all of those superlatives. It's not because it's like you were talking about Seth Putnam earlier on. It's not something that's that terrible you feel you need to hear it.
no.
It's terrible because it's like a band that gave up years ago and shouldn't fucking bother anymore.
Mm,
And
yeah.
that's the sad reality of it.
Yeah, and when you compare it against other bands of that
Testament last
that
year.
fucking hell, Testament, yeah, there you go, straight away. And
Mhm.
even the new Exodus is sounding great.
Yep.
Uh,
The new
you know,
Creator's fucking great.
yeah,
All these bands are managing to stay fresh, stay relevant. Megadeth, just not, just go, Dave. Not
mm,
you, obviously, but Dave, just go.
yeah, I agree.
But that's not what that's not your number five, is it? So
No, it's not. No, I know how much he winds you up though, so it could have been. I suppose it's the whole kind of TikTok metal fucking thing.
okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like metal influencers and people who do fuck all but consider themselves an influencer. And,
Are you
and
talking about the people that kind of do this is System of a Down played in the style of Miley Cyrus are you talking about that kind of thing?
I don't know. I don't know really. It's just that there's a whole kind of I don't know posery fucking vibe that goes on with that kind of thing. It's very much the look. Like I say, I can't actually put a word on what I'm trying to say here, but just that whole e scene kind of
Okay,
thing.
I get it.
Do you know what I mean? And there's a few people that it's just you'll read like some social media posts. It's like these people genuinely think that they work in the music industry, and it's like you've got an Instagram page, you know. Don't know.
Yeah, I think I get where you're coming from. There's a lot
It,
of it, and
the
it, and it,
cult, it's a cult of personality. It's very much an ego thing with people.
yeah, yeah,
There's this narcissistic kind of self promotion for doing not a lot of anything.
yeah, yeah. The, the problem with it, a lot of it is it infiltrates a social media feed, whether you like it or not. Because obviously the algorithm picks it up, doesn't it? You're scrolling through loads of heavy metal stuff. That kind of thing is going to appear whether you like it or not. But you're right. What does it actually bring? Like, what are they doing?
I
If
don't
they
think.
were, if they were sort of supporting, like directly supporting a scene or something like that, it might make more sense. But it's all very self-indulgent.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you remember like a few years ago there was this challenge, try not to headbang, and people would film themselves, like literally film themselves listening to a song, and that would obviously have a very obvious breakdown. I don't know what, or breakdown, or like a monumentous piece in the music,
Yeah,
and they'd film themselves almost struggling, like they were needing a piss, like biting their lip, going, "Oh, I'm trying not to headbang, but it's this music's too good." It's like,
that's fucking stupid.
just don't fucking headbang, you idiot.
That's just you could play any metal song to me, and I can quite happily stand still and listen to it.
Honestly, it was a thing, especially over COVID when you got fuck all to do but look at these idiots. And it's just like, I don't know, it just annoys me.
Yeah, I get it. Look, there's some of it I can find entertaining. Like I said, there is the guy. I don't know what he's called. I'm not in that sort of circle. Long black hair, bit of a beard, and does play like this song in the style of this band and stuff like that. And I find it quite creative sometimes that people can do that kind of thing, like playing a fucking I don't know a Rihanna song in the style of Slipknot or something like that. It's
Yeah,
quite good fun.
that
But
that is.
what does it actually bring to the metal scene?
Yeah, and stuff like that is quite interesting and good, I suppose. And I suppose it has got a place, but just people's presence for the sake of presence,
Yeah, yeah.
is fucking annoying. And it's not something that I go down. If you look back over all our social media, I'm fucking in about 3 posts because it's not about me. It's about what I'm trying to sort of present to the world.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
you will very, very rarely see my face, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing. Yeah.
Um, but rather than just this promotion of the self, I don't know. You're not fucking in a band.
Is it like, do you think it's like a desperate need for validation?
Probably, and that's probably a wider thing with just social media,
And
maybe.
people in general, modern society that's the world we're in now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
So maybe it is just a crossover and a hangover with that. But like
do
I
you
say,
think
what you actually call this, I don't know.
do you think we need heavy metal only fans for this kind of shit? And then you can just kind of run free with it.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea, actually.
You're not going on it. Stay off it. Just no.
Subscription's already paid for, mate.
Oh fucking hell. But yeah, I think I get it. I mean, it's kind of taken over our world, that kind of thing. It's in our face whether we like it or not. Social
Mm.
media is a necessary evil these days for you promoting a business, for us and a podcast, and you know putting on little gigs and stuff like that. We need social media. Like you can't get away from it.
Yeah, do you know what? I get that, but the longer I've been doing what I've been doing, I've begun to realize it doesn't make any fucking difference.
No, it probably doesn't. You just get stuck in a cycle of it. There
It
are
doesn't
other ways to promote yourself other than social media.
absolutely any difference. You could have, 500,000 followers. That does not translate to success.
No, it doesn't.
What it does translate to is you've got 500,000 followers, and
Yeah.
that's it. That is literally it.
I think what's more important with it is how people engage. So, for an example, Hell Ripper, James McBain, like the way he engages with people on social media is really good. As they get bigger, he's obviously going to find it more difficult. But if
He's
you
a really
can,
nice guy, isn't
yeah, like just a
he? Mm,
top guy, and more like what we know as metalheads. And if you were to send him a message on social media, chances are you're going to get a reply. And
mm.
people like that kind of thing, and that's what social media should be all about.
Yeah.
Whereas what it's becoming is like we've just been talking about. It's just self-indulgent, me, me, me. Look at the solo I can play. I can do all this, and I don't know. Something else I'm seeing a lot of is, um, and this is going to sound really weird, but it's female musicians, amazing musicians, but sexing it up.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of that as well, and that makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable too, because you've clearly got all this amazing talent,
Hmm.
but because of the world we're in and because of what social media is, it feels like there's a need to add another level to it, which is, a fucking a pair of stockings and a pair of boots and like I said, to sex it up. It just all feels quite, I don't know, desperate maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think it's any surprise. I mean, that's just, if I think if you have, the attractive woman in your video, it's going to go fucking nuts.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, and it's not a new thing, is it?
and I think you're pretty naive if you think it's for the quality of the content or otherwise.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. At the end of the day, sex sells, doesn't it? We all know
Mm.
that. But that's going down a whole different rabbit hole, and I'm going to get myself into trouble if I carry on. But yeah, I get what you mean. It's a worrying trend, I think, because it's becoming more and more of a thing that you like being a social media personality is now considered celebrity.
Mm.
You only have to watch a fucking one of these celebrity reality shows and all these to go to the fucking jungle, all that shit. Half of them are just YouTubers or Instagrammers or whatever they are, and then they are the modern celebrity,
Mm.
and that's obviously filtering its way into the music we love. So
Yeah, and I just think that's sad for a scene that ultimately holds our musicians
yeah,
at the
yeah.
in the highest respect. That
There,
that we let anyone else come in and kind of take that over, whether it's a journalist or people doing what we do. We don't deserve it. It's all
well,
about the music.
yeah, it is, it is, and I saw, funny enough, I saw a video that came up on my feed today. Not someone I follow. I can't remember what they were called. But it was an American girl, probably like late teens, early 20s, maybe. And the video was five bands, five underrated bands that you've never heard of that you should listen to, right? Which so I stopped and I watched that because that's like, okay, I'll listen to this because there might actually be something in this. But it was five metalcore bands,
Yeah.
all doing pretty much the same thing, and all with monthly Spotify listener numbers into the hundreds of thousands. So we're not talking grassroots level here. We're talking bands they're out there. And I think that's where it falls down, is that's an opportunity to actually, you know, put out there about this band I saw in my local bar last week. They were fucking incredible. You can go and check them out at this Bandcamp page, and that's what it should be. If
Mm.
you've got that clout, then at
Yeah.
least use it for good.
Do it
You
for
know,
yeah.
yeah, we can all sit here and moan about it, and we all try and support local music and independent bands and all that. I haven't got the clout for that, but if you've got a million followers and you're a massive metalhead, use it for good.
Yeah.
Get the likes of fucking Flamebearer out there to the world. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is where certainly a lot of the guys from Banger TV kind of come in.
Yeah,
So I know, like Daniel DK, he obviously plays an exciter and stuff like that. But I think as a personality, he's a great force
yeah,
for the general good of heavy metal. He's
yeah, completely.
constantly trying to turn people onto new music and promoting stuff
Yeah,
and things like that.
yeah. I think they're a bit of a shining beacon for us all, really. That
I think they always have been, though, haven't
yeah,
they?
they have. I mean, you think what Sam Dunn has done over the years. Is so much, and everything he's done, all the documentaries he's done, like the Metal Headbanger Journey thing from years ago, the Maiden Flight 666, all of it, brilliant.
Mm,
Just great TV, and it proves it can be done. Like
yeah.
you can be at that level and have millions and millions of views, and you can still remain authentic and actually give something back. And I watch those videos, and there's loads of stuff that I've never heard of.
Mm,
Like bands like Smolder, for instance, who got into via Banger TV because obviously she's on Banger TV. Things like that. That's what it should be.
yeah.
Not look at me, I can play this fucking solo at this speed and backwards and all that bollocks. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Agreed.
nonsense. So it's going in.
Whatever it is,
It's gone in. Yeah, whatever it is, it's gone in.
whatever it is, it's gone in.
So you get 4 out of 5.
I got 4 out of 5. I think the only thing was cover bands, which, like I say, storing that one.
It's going to come back and bite me, that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Storing that.
yeah. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel with that one, I think.
Okay.
I think today I was reading the Music Venue Trust's annual report for 2025, and there's loads of positive stuff in that. So I think there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully we will see a bit of a turn. You
That's
know,
good.
tribute bands can still earn a living, but the independent grassroots will still thrive around the back of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Anything else you would like to add? You moany
Uh,
old bastard.
I,
It's a lovely mug.
thanks. No, I'm all good. Thank you, mate. Thank you
Yeah.
for as always. Thank you for asking me on.
Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to hear you vent.
Be nice to see your pretty face in the flesh soon.
I'll send you a video. It's fine. We'll be down. We'll be down at some point.
Nice.
I fucking love Bristol. And when we were down last, we did the silly little video on the stairs in the Griffin, and it's you've got such a great city, and there is a cool little scene going on, and the more people support it down there, the better it'll get. So it's important. If you're in
Yeah,
Bristol and you're watching this, fucking go and get involved, man.
yeah, it's making headway, and things have certainly in 8 years or so that I've lived out this way. It's got better, and it's growing, and yeah, there's a much more communal vibe here
Yeah,
than
which is
I
what we
think
want.
you get in most places where it can just be a bit anonymous. But yeah, it's all good. Yeah, 5 years this year. We've got our fifth anniversary weekender, which I think is just going to be a day.
Well, not
Uh,
not 4 days like last year. Fuck.
fucking four that turned into 5 or 7 or something.
Well,
But
we managed 2 nights, and that was yeah,
that
it
was
was a tough run.
it was hard going.
Yeah,
Hard
at
going.
your age,
Mate, I nearly died.
you didn't even make it to the last night.
No, I think I went down, I had half a beer and went home.
You fucking grumpy old cunt. But look, yeah, it just yeah. I don't think we'll be down for that one this year, but I will be down at some point.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So yeah,
Or yeah, Bristol Extreme Fest. That's the big one. So yeah, come and support that, everybody.
yeah. Please do. Look, anybody in the whole fucking region, South Wales, and what's the cap? Do you know what sort of?
It's not massive. I think it's about 600, 700.
There you go. So it's tight confines. Just seeing a big band like Rotten Christ in a small space.
Yeah, but I think from what I understand, there's going to be like a warm up show night before.
Even better.
And then on the Sunday, if people are over for the weekend, then I'm pretty sure between myself and the pub that we'll do something to keep people entertained.
What more can you ask for?
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, wicked. Right, sir. Thank you very much for coming on. It's always
Thank you
a
very
pleasure.
much.
And no doubt we'll see you again soon. And to everyone else, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Let us know, because we love a moan. And if anybody wants to come on here and have a moan, you are more than welcome. So, but you've got to follow the rules. So we'll see. Until next week, stay metal.